Hey, what's going on? I am Tracy Leanne, and we want to welcome Haley and Michaels to the Wolf Den.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Now, you guys came in here quite a while ago before we had the actual Wolf Den. It's been a while, so welcome back.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah.
This is
Welcome.
awesome. Love it.
Yeah.
It is pretty fun in here. It's made it nice.
Absolutely.
All right, so real quick, before we get started, your guys' name, which is part of both of your names, was that an easy decision, or was that kind of like the end result?
No.
Like, let's
So-
just go with this.
Yeah, you would think it would have been easy or obvious because Shannon Haley, Ryan Michaels, Haley and Michaels, but it took like a year. Like it was embarrassing, some of the names that we came up with. And finally we're like, you know what? Like,
Keep it simple.
let's just
own
keep
it.
it simple.
Let's
Let's
own
just
it.
own our names. And
And then we got married, and so now her last name is actually Michaels, but we didn't want
Michaels
to
and
confuse.
But I didn't know that was going to happen at the time. So
Let's go with Michaels.
We'll
One
go with
name.
Michaels. Yeah.
All right, now you guys are both from Northern California, and you didn't find that out until you were in Nashville?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. We were each playing with in our solo bands with the same electric guitar player, and so he connected us in Nashville. When we sat down for coffee, we found out that we literally grew up like across the street, basically, just a few streets over. So
Now, were you guys set up as a first date, or was it more like, here's two musicians, meet each other?
it was more musicians at the beginning.
I was more interested in her than she was in me.
I don't know. I was like
think.
tunnel vision, like, hey, I'm meeting someone for music, and you know.
Right.
Put
and
the
I'm
music
like,
hat
And I'm
on.
like, maybe we could date if we sing together.
She's like, no, not at all.
I was like, don't ruin the music, please.
Yeah, we were actually singing together for quite a while before we got married.
before you both admitted it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
All right, so speaking of getting married, your breakout single was actually your wedding song, and there's so much more that happened after that. So tell everybody about that.
Yes. We had the chance to have a writing day canceled because it was snowing, and we had basically no time to plan our wedding. Most things were done except for our vows, and so we sat down to write our vows and ended up writing our wedding song instead. And then we released it out on our own, and Hoda from the Today Show heard it and invited us on to perform it. So it's been awesome.
How crazy was that?
Yeah, it was really crazy.
And how much has changed since then? I mean, this process that you guys have been through starting, I mean, how much has everything grown since that? Was there a big difference after that?
We definitely felt the difference and just the connectivity with our fans. You know, a lot of people started reaching out to us either about other songs that we had up or because they had heard the wedding song or letting us know that they were using the song as their wedding song, which has just been the coolest part of our journey so far.
Yeah, and another thing that's changed for us is the last time we were here, we were just doing things on our own. And since then, we recently signed a publishing deal with Sony and a record deal with Reviver Records in Nashville. So
That's amazing. So you're working on new music, but before we get on that, you guys released a song with Me Too.
Yes.
So was that something that just in the topic you guys decided, or is something from inside, or personally?
Yeah.
What brought you to that?
It was actually from personal experience in my life, but I really wanted to write about the overall healing aspect of this movement. The movement itself inspired me to write the song. My personal experiences fueled it, but the song itself was inspired by the movement and just how amazing it was to see so many brave people coming together and standing up for each other and being there for each other. And I wanted to write a message that goes out to other survivors, letting them know that they weren't alone, kind of in the same way that the Me Too movement made me feel.
yeah, and as artists, that's how we hope to connect with people. And when you see what happened with the Me Too movement, especially in this country, people start to speak up. You want to be a part of that, and you want to encourage others to do that. So we actually had a chance to connect with Tarana Burke, who's the founder of the Me Too movement, and she ended up collaborating with us on the song. And
She featured on one of the
she was
first ones,
featured
right?
on it, and then it premiered in Time Magazine, and it's been really special for us.
Yeah, because I saw, or somebody mentioned that's one of the highest viewed videos that you guys have, right? I think on
Yeah,
YouTube.
it has a few million.
Yeah, it was
which is
just
so
our
cool.
first #1 video on CMT a few weeks ago, actually. So, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So with that, you guys also are working on an album. When is the
Yes.
release on that?
We don't have a specific date, but probably early next year. So
Okay.
we are so excited to get it out there. We've been spending a while recording, and so I think we've got 14 songs recorded for it.
And one of our cats really digs our music. The other one, not.
The other one just prepares us for
Typical
rejection
cat.
in the real world because she is tough.
Yeah. But
Tough
they
crowd.
know the songs really well because we spent the past year and a half really, working on everything. So yeah, be excited to get it
Built-in
out there.
audience.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So I know you guys that we're talking about, you know, before you guys came in, that you've got a few singles that you're choosing that you haven't decided. When are you guys going to release that once you decide it?
Well, we've got our single Taking Off, which we played today, that is planning to be the first single at Country Radio, which should be coming out early next year in January. So you can hear it then.
And then we have our song High Note. It just hit 1.5 million streams on Spotify.
It's
and,
out now.
and our other song, Drinking About You, just hit 2 million streams on Spotify
Both of
as
those
well.
are out
so-
now on Spotify,
Yeah.
so people can listen to those now. Yeah.
Nice. They can listen to that until the full album comes out.
Exactly.
All right. So let everybody know where they can find your music and your social media handles, how to find you.
Absolutely. So on social media, we are on Facebook, Haley and Michaels.
Can I do Twitter?
Yeah, you can do Twitter. I knew he was going to ask. He loves it. It's really not that exciting. But on Instagram, we are also Haley and Michaels.
And on Twitter, we are Haley, capital N Michaels.
That would have been
was
our
me.
duo name if
That
it
was
had been
my
up to
idea.
Ryan.
That was my idea. And it's
Alright.
backwards. I'm just kidding. It's
Yes,
not
and then
backwards. You won't find us on Twitter if you type the N backwards.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And then, you know, you can hear our music on all the streaming services, if whatever you guys use, you know, Amazon, Apple, Spotify.
All formats.
All formats, yeah.
All right. Well, let's give it up for Haley and Michaels.
Thank you. Thanks for
you.
having us.
Here's to the pickup line, it never should have worked on you.
Here's to the